Hey everyone! Today I am going to do a tutorial video on one of the projects from the October Silhouette Life Inspiration Box. The theme, now that everybody has theirs and it won't be a spoiler, is Hocus Pocus, which is perfect for Halloween. So the project I'm going to do today is one of the Halloween photo prop projects. So I have all the materials that came in the box that I need. So I've got a bunch of different cardstock in some Halloween colors. And then I have the tacky glue and the skewer sticks for those props. So starting off from the beginning, how you get to these tutorials. So once you sign up for the box, you're invited to a exclusive members only Facebook page. You'll be invited, the information is on the card in your box on how to send them an email, and then they'll invite you to the group. You don't have access to the tutorials if you're not in that group, or at least not until later. So it's definitely something you want to be a part of right away, is getting into that group. So what you'll do is you'll come onto the Facebook page here, and you will go to where it says photos. Let me turn this around so you can see all of it. So you'll go here and you'll click on photos, and then you'll come here to albums, and you'll click on the month that you want. So here's the months that she has on here. You'll go to the month you want, and I just always open the Drive file so that you can see everything from there. And then you'll open up the PDF. I know a lot of people like to print this out. I usually just leave it on my browser, but that's because normally I'm just working from my computer when I do it. So that's what I prefer. So this one is called Easy Halloween Party Photo Props. Whew, that was hard to get out. Easy Halloween Party Photo Props. So you just use normal cardstock. She likes this one, and I like it too because it's cheap. So if you're throwing a party and you're doing some kind of more expensive decorations and treats and things like that, this is a fun addition that doesn't cost you very much. And it's easy to throw together if you don't have a lot of time as well. So that's nice. So on these tutorials, you'll scroll down through, it walks you through everything. So she always gives you, included in each box is usually a design bundle. That way you have the designs that she's using as well to be able to pull up. So for this one, she's got a bunch of designs with all of the Halloween images. So I always just come up here and I click download on the studio format. I don't have SVG format because I don't have Designer Studio yet. So I just come here and I click on studio format. Once I click there, I can click download. And I am on a Mac, so if you don't have a Mac, it'll be a little bit different, but still a similar process where you'll have to download it. Once I click on it, normally it opens Silhouette Studio. You may have to find it. I do not want to update that right now, so later. And if you click on it, even if the program's not open, it'll open it for you. So let's see. So now it's going to load and it'll pull up all of those designs. She usually has them, and this one is the same where they're already scaled to how you want them. So that's really nice. She's got a bunch of different things. It looks like we've got 8 designs. And then you can decide, okay, what color do I want each one on these cardstock? So that in that way, these tutorials are super nice because it's very easy to follow them. The hardest part comes in usually in the application after you've cut it out. Things like one of the projects this month is that mug, color changing mug, so you'll have to figure out how to put the image on it, all of that, but she goes through it in the tutorial. So let me read you part of this tutorial so you can kind of understand. So she just talks about the designs that she has, and what kind of cardstock. For this weight, she's got 65-pound cardstock, and she just used the Silhouette Studio default settings for cardstock. So she also shows you what you need to cut. So in this case, I've got all of them on my mat like I just showed you. So I am going to design it now how I want it. So let's see, actually, sorry. We have blue, green, purple, red, and black cardstock. So I'm going to do one of each page. That way I can show you all the different colors and what she has for those. So then black and blue. So I'm going to put those back in the box. So now I have all these. So that is 5 different ones. So you can either, what's nice about here is you can either have all of them grouped together like off on the side and then just move them back when you're ready to cut, or you can do new tabs up at the top. If you click here, you can do new tabs, and then you can have all 5 of them ready to go. So once one is done cutting, you can just click on the other one. For me, I am going to do all of them on one page just to show you that, so it's easiest to see how I'm going to design them. And with 5 sheets of paper, I can fit quite a bit on one design. So I'm gonna zoom in just a little on my screen, and the zoom in bottom is just up at the top. Can you see where my cursor is? Zoom up at the top. So I'm gonna zoom in so you can see that, and I am going to fit, let's see if I can fit one more thing on here. And if you have any questions on how to use your design studio, just let me know. Most of these are pretty, if you've used your machine before, it'll come pretty easily to you. So now, as you can see, I've got my first setup. I'm gonna do this setup for 2 colors, and then I'm gonna do the rest in the bigger ones. That way I have a lot of little ones, and then I can get the bigger ones together too on the next sheet. So I'm gonna cut this twice, but 1 color on each mat to go through. So now that I've got that set up, let's go back to the tutorial. I'll flip you back around to my computer. So I'm gonna go back to the tutorial. And as you can see here, it says blade 3, speed 4, thickness 20. So I'm gonna go back to my thing. I'm gonna go to this send button up here. I'm gonna click send. Now as you can see, all of the red lines are the cut lines. I'm gonna click on cardstock plain. Let's make sure that's what she used. Weight cardstock, default settings for cardstock. Okay, she hasn't upgraded to this version yet, so our settings are a little bit different, but you can just do cardstock plain here, and that will change your settings. So she has blade 3, which is what they have it at, speed 4, thickness 20. So these are all the settings that I want to use. And then, as you can see, it says could not connect. That's because I'm not plugged in right now. And so then I will go to action, make sure it's set to cut, everything is good to go. And now I'm gonna put the cardstock on the mat and get my machine hooked up, and then we will send it to get it cut. Okay, so now as you can see, I've got it loaded into my machine, so it's lined up. See how it's right on the lines for 8.5 by 11, which is how she has it laid out here. If you want to do it sideways, you can. We would have just had to load this with the paper going this way. So then I'm going to check my blade. You just unclick this and you check it where that red line is. So this is only at 2 and we need to have it at 3. So you click it in here, you pop it to 3. Now it shows 3. I'm going to pop it back in and we're good to go. So then I come back here, double check my settings. We've got 3, 4, 20, and it's ready to go. Now it's connected because it's hooked up to my computer to the machine. So I have cut cardstock, enough times that I'm not going to do a test cut, but it is always a good idea if you're not familiar with the material. So actually, let me just show you, just in case you're not. So as you can see here, we have a lot of empty space right here. So that's where I'm going to do my test cut so I don't go into a design. So how you do that is you'll come back to your machine, click on these arrows right here, and I'm going to move my blade until it gets right around the area that I want it. So I'm going to stop it right there, just move it a little bit more. Okay, so now that's ready. I'm going to come back to my computer and I'm going to come here and click test cut. So now it's got to load back to the beginning. And it cut perfectly right where I wanted it. Now if you move the blade, you have to remember to unload your mat. You can't click send right away because it won't go back and start from where it needs to. I've learned that the hard way. So now I'm going to pull up at the edge and just make sure, see how that cut through nice, there's none of it stuck to it. So that means my cut settings are fine for that. So I'm going to line them back up on the blue lines with the edge of my mat. It's a little bit hard to do one-handed, so let's see, excuse me for just a second. There we go. Okay, so now it's loaded back, we've got it lined up, my blade is good, my test cut was good. So now I'm going to come back to my machine and I'm going to click send. Now it's thinking, and it's going to cut out that design. So once that's done, I'm going to cut in another color, and then I'll show you the next design. Okay, so all of these little designs down here we just cut out. I did in 2 colors, and I'll show you those as soon as we're done with the others. So now I have these 3 designs left to go. So I'm going to pull in the hat, and the hat is big enough to really just do that on the sheet, but I'm actually going to try to fit this one too to maximize my space. If you have the designer edition, you have a tool called nesting, and it will do this for you. It will see how many you can fit on one. It'll make sure you have enough room, not cut into each other. So it looks like this is going to be too big, so I'm just going to worry about the one. So now that's ready. When I do so I'm going to do that one on the purple sheet of paper. Then I'm going to do the black sheet of paper, and I'm going to do this one. So you just move it on, and you'll go back, do the same things like we did before. Go to your send button up at the top, and then we'll change the settings. We'll save because it's the same. We're cutting the same thing. And then when I do the green piece of paper, I'm just going to do these glasses a couple times. So what I would do to get these to fit is I would make them even there, and then I would just copy them. So I have to click onto it. I'll just show you with the mouse. And then you can right click. My Mac doesn't want to do it right now. So I'll do it down here and then copy those, and I'll see how many I can fit on one sheet of paper. My guess is 3. Let's see. Okay. Yep, so I'll just have to play around with where it's sitting a little bit, but I can get 3 there. So those are going to be my next 3 cuts. Load them into the machine, same thing we did before. So I'm going to get those cut out, and then I'll come back and we'll show you how to put them on the sticks and kind of the finished product. So this one is a really simple one. I chose to do that one first so we could get a project done really fast, and then we can get into some of the more complicated tutorials a little bit later this week. So I'll be right back with those cuts. Okay, so I have everything cut out now. So I've got a bunch. I've got this hat, a bunch of different glasses. I've got my glue, so it's ready to go. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take the first design you want to do. You're going to take your glue, and you're just going to put a little bit on the back. My glue is kind of erupting from probably the pressure, and I had it upside down. So you just put some glue on the back of your design. This is probably too much, but I want it to stay on there good. And I did it at the top, so that way we're going to see how that ends up. You can put it anywhere on the design you want, but then that way I can hold it kind of at the same height. But I'm going to play around with a couple different ones, see what I like. So I've got it set up next to me with all of these ready to go. And then I've just got to set up where I can set these glued things so that they can dry. I'm more of a hot glue person. So if I did these again, I would hot glue them just so it would be quicker than having to wait for tacky glue to dry. But it's what came in the box, and it still works. So that's just my personal preference. So these glasses cut out perfectly. I'm excited about those. So these ones, let's see. Some people do them sideways, and I like the design with the stick more straight up and down. So I'm going to put the glue right on the edge, like this. So I can have it right here, and then when I hold it up, of course, it'll be the other way around. But that way it can be glued like that. So that's how I'm going to do this one. So let's put just a little bit of glue on the back. Let's see. So that's kind of the amount that I'm thinking to have on the back, and then I can fit a good portion of my stick in that glue. Man, I'm sorry, I keep estimating the video camera wrong. And it'll go right here, and then I will just set it on my pile to dry. So that's how those are going to go, and I'm going to do them for all my different designs. So here's the ones that came out. So I've got some green bat glasses. Those will be cute. I really like these spider glasses. And then I did those in another color too. So here's this one. Oh, as you can see, I didn't weed that well. So there's these ones. Oh, those are cool. Let's see what other ones. Oh, we've got some lips. Go like that. I think I did some red ones, like this. And then I like this one. Can go like this. And then all of the different hats. So there's a bunch of different designs for these. Really fun. She gives you quite a few sticks, so I think I can even do all the ones that I cut out. The lip is going to be a little bit harder on how I want to cut it, so I may have to go sideways for this so that it can sit on the back there. So that's what I'm going to do there. And let's put that glue on. So you'll just put a little bit of glue on here. There's plenty of glue in this bottle for everything you would need for this project. So that's nice. I'll have some left over if I decide to do the project again and want to do it with tacky glue. And it will work just fine, any kind of adhesive. You could even try glue dots. I have those lying around sometimes, so if it's just a project you just need for a little bit, they're not going to be beaten up too much. That could work just fine too. This one, I think I'm going to do on the side too, so then I can just hold it. It'll be like this. So I'm going to do a bunch of glue. As you can see, it kind of warped a little bit. That's because my mat is really sticky. So if you have a mat that's not as sticky, that's what's suggested for cardstock, because then it doesn't warp at all. But I can easily just straighten this out. I'll just put it in between a book or something like that. And that's just a problem with my mat, nothing with the cardstock or anything like that. So I'm going to glue this one on there, and then I will show you guys when they're all dry, what they look like when you play with them, and we'll be all set. These are a great addition to any party. I know kids love them. I did similar props for my sister's 16th birthday party. We made a photo frame, and she loved it. Bunch of like cell phone ones and things like that. So it's nice that she gives you the Halloween designs, but it's very customizable with anything that you want as well. If you think of any other ideas, it can be transformed to that. Now you know what materials to use, how to do it. So then I will just show you once these are dry, and then we'll go from there. So the glue has dried on all these, so I'm going to show you what they look like. So this is all set. You can just hold it from the stick, and then you've got your little mask, hat thing. It's still a little wet, but I mean, you can tell that it's holding up really well. I can twist it and it's not falling off or anything like that. I did these pair of glasses and it worked really well. Like this. Can you just picture me taking a selfie? So that one's nice. I did really just a little bit of glue there. Oh, I guess I did it down the side too, but not very much, and it goes a long way. And then I did the mouth. So it'll be cute. And then I did these, and again, I mean, they were just drying for a couple hours, but I probably could have pulled them away sooner. I just didn't. This is the one that I did the stick at the top. I don't know that I love that, so I would suggest not doing it so high up if you do those, just to make it easier on the people using them. And then these glasses worked out. So those are some of the different fun styles for this project for the photo props. I will be doing another tutorial for some of the other projects a little bit later this week, so be looking for those. I'm really excited about the color changing mug and a couple others in this box, so it's going to be really fun. Thanks for tuning in, and let me know if you have any questions.